Can I taste your juice?
Now, eventually you do plan to have
vaping at your Vape Expo?
right? Hello?
And there was vaping. And then there wasn't any vaping. And then there was, and then there wasn't. But you could sample the liquids at the vendors' tables, but you couldn't do that either. To be honest with you guys, it was really kind of confusing to figure out what the is going on at Vape Expo, New Jersey this past weekend. Well, hey folks, PBusardo. You guys know me. You know I do my very best to stay out of the drama and the politics, especially the politics of vaping, because that is a job for those people who do that. Okay, the vaping militia, the Casas, the Safadas, the Dimitris of the vaping industry. That's kind of what they specialize in. However, I was smack dab in the middle of it, so what I tried to do was to capture as much of it as I possibly could to bring it to you guys. Now, I want to start it off on a little bit of a positive note, because there were some positive aspects to the event. I saw some cool devices that I'm not going to mention in this video, perhaps a future video, or at least in some of the photos. And I did get to meet a whole lot of you, okay? And that is really why I go to these events, is to meet you, to hang out with you, to have a vape with you, to shake your hand, just kind of like me showing my appreciation for you guys watching the videos, okay? But I do feel pretty beat up after this event, and I feel also discouraged after this event. So thanks to everybody who did come up and say hello. I appreciate that. And I don't know if you can tell, but I do have a little bit of that Barry White thing going with the voice, because I did talk to so many of you guys at the event. So when things started to go down, I did try to cover as best I could while still trying to meet as many of you as possible. Sorry it wasn't under better circumstances, okay? You know, in this video, I'm going to try to be as fair to all parties as possible, and just kind of let you guys know what I heard, let you guys know what I recorded, let you guys know what I heard, what I saw, what I did, and what I experienced. And in this case, there is going to be some personal opinion in here as well, which you may or may not agree with. Now, do I have it all right? Do I have all of the facts? No, I don't. I'm just going to present to you what I have. So you're probably going to hear a lot of things like supposedly and the way I understand it, and from what I understand a lot in this video, okay? But kind of bottom line, I was really looking for who dropped the ball. Somebody dropped the ball. Okay, and that's what I tried to do. Now, that's one part of the meat. The other part of the meat, you know, that's like the meat itself, right? And the other part would be like some of the negative things that were seen and experienced there that I really think it is time that we started talking about more. All right, so how does it all begin? For me, it begins late Friday night. I drove into this event. I didn't fly. Got there 9:30, 10 o'clock, something like that. And I checked into the hotel and went to a bar. Haha! Imagine that. So at the bar is when I heard that there was not going to be any vaping. No vaping at a vape event. At which point, eventually I left the bar. I went back to the hotel room and I recorded this and put it up online. Well, hey folks, PBusardo. So it is 3 a.m. and I'm sitting in my hotel room right now, and I do apologize for the audio and the video quality, but I don't have my standard rig here with me. Getting ready to attend Vape Expo New Jersey tomorrow, actually later on today. And there's some interesting news about this event, and I'll read it to you. The Edison Board of Health has forced vaping to be done Saturday and Sunday in an adjacent enclosed pavilion off the show floor. Please keep all vaping in that pavilion. So I'm about to attend a vaping event that's not going to allow vaping. So what does that mean to all of the vendors who maybe traveled a long distance or maybe paid a good amount of money to be part of the event and who are kind of counting on their ability to have people sample their products? I'm not exactly sure. Did the event coordinators know that something like this was going to happen? Did they know the rules and the laws? Did they have written guarantees? Again, I honestly don't know. I'm still going to go tomorrow. I'm going to try to cover the event as best as I can and let you guys know what happened. The event is supposed to open at noon tomorrow for the public, and I believe at 10 o'clock it's going to be from 10 to noon. It's going to be a little bit of B2B. Friday they did have all B2B, so I'm going to try to get in there early and get some comments from some of the vendors and try to track down the coordinators and find out a little bit more about what's going on. So what do I recommend you do? I recommend you attend anyway. Try to show that vaping is not going to be shut down. That we are strong and we are. It's really sad. It's really sad, but we continue to fight for a healthier lifestyle, and I think that's absolutely ridiculous that we have to fight so hard for that. But anyway, that's the deal. That's what I know right now. That's what I'm letting you guys know. It should be very, very interesting tomorrow. I'm still going to go. I still hope to meet a whole lot of you there. And that's it for now. That's it for now. I guess we'll find out what happens tomorrow or later on today. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Now, what got the health inspector there in the first place to force this vaping pavilion requirement? And I guess there were a couple other requirements as well. Food vending had to be off of the floor, the show floor, okay? And there had to be like signs all over the place saying not to vape, okay? From what I understand, and this is according to the promoters, that complaint calls were received from the health department about everything from children in the venue vaping to pregnant women in the vaping event. Okay, so again, this is all hearsay. This is what I've heard. This is what I'm sharing. All right. All right, now let's go to Saturday morning, okay? This is between the hours of 10 o'clock and noon, pretty much right before the doors open for the public. I was asked to go up on stage along with a whole bunch of other folks and talk to the vendors directly. And let me apologize for the audio and the video quality in advance, okay? As this stuff was going down, I used whatever I had, and in some cases, not the best, okay? So I used what I could. Here's what was said.
And that's why everyone that came in this building had to become a member. This is a private event. This is a privately owned building. Everyone that's here right now is a member of Vape Expo New Jersey and either vapes or agrees to be in an environment of vaping. And I'll be really quick about this, okay? The one issue that we have in New Jersey, this is a private building, so we don't have to worry about public with Clean Air Act. But one of the things that they mentioned in the amendment is that people who work in this environment cannot be forced to work here unless they agree to the terms if they are a vapor. So we were safe to say that we covered every aspect of that. Everyone in this building, security, off-duty police, everyone in here supports vaping. So legally we're safe. We have everybody signing in, we have everybody legally accepting to the terms and the bylaws. So we're good on that. Yesterday, the health department got a slew of complaints about everything from there's babies on the floor, there's underage kids vaping, so on and so forth. These are phone call threats that they got. You can say it's kind of like a bomb threat, like somebody calling in a bomb threat. Who called in, we don't know. There was, I think, approximately 15 or 16 phone calls. It got to the point where the health department, who signed off, and we have documents on this, they understood exactly what we were doing to vape indoors. They had to come by and check the vicinity. So what they were saying is, look, we need to do something because people are going to keep complaining and complaining and complaining to the point where the police are going to have to come by, check everywhere, make sure everything is done legally and safe, and we don't want to do that to interrupt the show. So we asked them, what would you like us to do? Because we did everything that we were supposed to do on behalf of all our vendors and everyone attending and the company and the building. So what they said was, we will set up for you at no charge a pavilion that we just ask you to encourage people, whoever is chain vaping, please do your best to keep all vaping in a pavilion that's adjacent to the building. Now, what that means to you guys and us, very simply, is we just have to tell people, if you're gonna vape, if they ask, if you're gonna vape, please keep it inside the pavilion. Now again, the health department, their main thing was food. That's why we kept food in another part of the building so that they don't have any complaints about people possibly getting poisoned by nicotine. And that's fine, we comply to that. So moving forward, we are going to go as fast as we can forward, and we're going to make sure the show gets done. There's no doubt about that. What we need to tell you is that vaping is at your own risk. This is legally what we have to say, okay? It's not a police action that they would take. It's not like somebody would go to jail if they vape. But according to their laws, they're saying that people can get fined. Now, this is what I understand. Who's pushing all this really is Senator Vitale. Senator Vitale is on his way here, supposedly. The doors open in about 20 minutes to the public. He's going to do a walkthrough, okay? And he's just going to see if we did our part, and if the vendors are doing their part to encourage the public to please keep vaping to a minimum and encourage people to go into the pavilion, okay? In the meantime, sampling. You guys know more than me. The reason why vaping is high profile is because they want to put it in the category of tobacco. And because we don't want to pay tobacco tax, because nicotine is not a tobacco, it is an extract. Because of that, what we recommend is for everyone who does sampling, do it at 0 nic, please, okay? The competitions, the trick competitions, the cloud comps, 0 nicotine. All the fog machines that the building did a great job at, for aesthetics and the lighting, everything that's going on for the light show is legal. And I don't know if you guys know, but fog machines are run on PG. So, again, if you're going to do sampling, please, if anybody asks you, it's got to be at 0 nic. But at the same time, just so that we don't have an issue, please, encourage that everyone keeps all vaping in the pavilion. Let's just work together. Let's do our part. Let's try to do the best we can to get through this weekend. We're going to go big and hard legally after these guys. I was with my lawyer this morning for 2 hours. We are 100% within our jurisdiction legally. But at the same time, they can easily say, well, you know what? There's smoke in the building. We've got to send the fire department in. So now we've got to evacuate everybody. To prevent that, we can't let our emotions get the best of us. We have to be smart. So we're going to show them that we're not new to this business, that we're smart, that we understand exactly what our rights are. And I give you guys my word, legally, we will do everything we have to starting Monday morning. In the meantime, I just want you guys to know, the senator was in the building yesterday. He came in discreetly and became a member. This is the guy that wrote the amendment to the Clean Air Act. He agreed to the bylaws. He claims that he's a vapor, and we're going to use that against him, I'll be honest with you. But in the meantime, please, for the sake of the Edison Health Department, they've been very good to us. They've been very fair. They're trying to politically do everything that's right. Again, all we ask you is that if you see people, just encourage them. Hey, try to keep vaping out in the pavilion, please. We're doing this for your own benefit, and you're vaping at your own risk. The building is asking you to do that. And in the meantime, everything needs to be done at 0 nic. If there's no nicotine, it's no longer considered associated with smoking. It's just like the PG that's coming out of these fog machines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass the mic around some of the other people to try to get you guys to, hear us out. And I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. We just got word that the senator is here. We just got word that the senator is here. We just got word that the senator is here. We just got word that the senator is here. We just got word that the senator is here. So I'm going to pass the mic around to Phil and some other people if they have something to say. Vaping Militia is here as well.
All right, how about this show? Any great? Everybody realizes what we're looking at here is just a simple thing of, they got a set of rules, we're going to follow it, and it's just that simple, right? It's only a couple minutes out of our time. Now, everybody's doing a great show. I want everybody to enjoy what's going on, look at the flavors that are going on. Zero nic testers are a great idea. Anybody got any problems with that? All right. What's up, guys? Chris Cohen here.
If you turn around and look this way, do you see what happened right now when he got up here and started talking advocacy related? Everybody walks away. This is the problem that we are having. Right here yesterday, we had an advocacy panel. There were 12 people standing here. If I came up here and I said, hey, I got free shit for everybody, there's going to be 1,000 people here. You guys all know this is true. How many people want this to stay around? Can I hear you? All right. So you hear about advocacy, you hear about voting, you hear about all these things. Nobody does anything. Let me show you real quick. Can I get a raise of hand from everybody? Everybody put your hand in the air. Everybody. And if you can hear my voice and you are not standing at the stage, we need you back up here. Okay. Keep your hand up if you want vaping to stay around. Everybody's hands are up in the air, right? Now this is where I need you to be honest. Can you please lower your hand if you have not voted, went to your state house, wrote a letter, made a phone call, donated to any type of advocacy? Can you please lower your hand if you have not done that right now? And I need y'all to be honest. They said yesterday that 3% of the people are doing 100% of the work. 2% of the people are doing 100% of the work. Now, everybody who has your hand in the air right now, we need you guys as a vaping community, as vendors, as end users, as manufacturers, as modders, distributors, whatever your take is in this industry, we need you guys to make your voice heard. Because you know what? We're great at social media. We can go make Instagram posts and Facebook posts and talk all day long on social media, but when it really comes down to putting the rubber to the road, a lot of us talk about it, but a lot of us don't do it. And that's the real talk. So what's going to continue to happen if we do not make our voices heard? This stuff's going to happen. Exactly right now. How many people want to go to a vape show where they can't vape? Not many people, right? Who wants to keep this thing around? All right, so this is what we need you to do. This is Joe with Vaping Militia. When he's up here talking, you need to know what is going on in this industry. You have to. You have to be aware, because what happens is these people have a lot more money than we have, they have a lot bigger stage than we have, and they have a lot more pull than we have. And what's going to happen is they're going to get their way if we do not speak up. You guys agree with that? Okay. So if you guys want this thing to stick around, you guys need to be involved in advocacy. It's great to be here for the giveaways and to toss juice out, to do all this Instagram and Facebook. It's great to do that, but you guys really need to get into action. And this is the man that's going to teach you guys how to do it. So can we get a big round of applause for Joe from Vaping Militia?
Let's go! Let's go!
A lot of people have heard about pending regulations and taxation of this, but it got real to all of us. And it can be real to all of our network, right? Keep a positive face, smile, be professional, but share what you saw here today with your network back home, your social media followings or whatever. Let them know you saw it. You are dealing with it today in our house. This is our house. And it's being overrun. They're bulldozering us, or whatever, however you say it. We gotta understand it's real and it's really happening, and it has affected all of us. Make it affect all of your family, all of your people. This is a wake-up call like none other for me. Don't squander this. Use it. Stay positive. Be positive.
Well said.
But let's do it, right? We just got to do the right thing, conduct ourselves as adults, responsible adults.
That's how it gets done.
Good-looking adults.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ryan Bunting. I am a member of the New Jersey Vapor Retailers Coalition. I'm a New Jersey resident. I own two shops here in New Jersey. I'd like to say that this industry is very important to me, not only as a business owner, because at the end of the day, I wouldn't have gotten into this industry if vaping hadn't done something for me that nothing else had. I was a pack and a half a day smoker for the better part of 20 years. You know, when I came home, I wanted to open up a vape shop. I wanted to change other people's lives, and that's what I feel like I do every single day when I go into work, is I change people's lives.
Very good.
This industry is too important for us to sit back and simply talk about the new flavors, the new mods, the new hardware. We can talk about all that stuff, but in the meantime, there are people right now who are looking at the laws and looking at ways to end all of this. So please stop by our booth, pay us a visit, see what you can do to help out. Thank you very much.
What's up, Jersey? This is Jen with Pet Panda. I live in New Jersey. I make my juice here in New Jersey. We have a problem.
In New Jersey.
California just faced this problem and they won. That's because they had a group that considered it a family. It's a vaping community. If we want it to last, we need to make that fight that they did in Cali here, right now. If we don't save it now, it's going to be a domino effect for New York, a domino effect for Pennsylvania, a domino effect for Maryland. It's not going to be just us that is going to lose it. So what I ask you guys to do is to fight for every single shop, support your local shops, support your local juice makers, and there's a booth right over there that says New Jersey Vaping Coalition. If you are a juice store owner, I want to see you sign up. We need the lobbyists. We need the money to go where it counts if we want it to last. So stay fun, stay safe, vape on.
All right, everybody, thank you for your time. Again, we have to fight together. Not so much of a fight, it's more of an understanding. If we all work with one another together, anything can be possible. So thank you for your time. Business as usual. Let's be professional, let's be smart about it. Have a good show.
Just mention again, the senator is here.
Oh, the senator is here. He's in the building. He's walking the floor. So please,
Enjoy outside.
yeah, be courteous and we encourage everybody to do what we said earlier. Let's be professional about it. There's no one here. There's no children here. No hotheads. Everybody's a professional here. And keep vaping in the pavilion, please.
So there you go. That's exactly the way it went down up there on the stage. My section got cut out because, you know, the guy who's holding the camera never gets in the photos. I said something really quick. But here's what you're hearing now. You're hearing that chain vaping has to be in the pavilion, but not like regular vaping. What qualifies as chain vaping and regular vaping? And the vendors were told, as you heard that right there, that the patrons, the people attending the event, could still sample their products as long as it was zero nic. Who came up with that? Where did that come from? Was there approval for that? Because as soon as the venue opened, here's what I started hearing.
All right, so we heard what just went up on stage, and the thing is we can still test and we can still use zero nic, but here's what I'm hearing now.
We were over at our booth letting people sample zero, and the leader of the Department of Health just came over and said that was our one warning, and if we get caught letting people vape again, we're getting a ticket.
All right, so even though what just happened on stage right now, we're getting all kinds of different reports. Here's one from Robin.
I talked to the health inspector.
You gotta speak up, Robin. Come on, use that voice of yours.
Not that loud. I talked to the health inspector, and I asked him what's going on because he was walking around, and he said, doesn't matter what anybody said. No vaping, no sampling, no zero nic. He doesn't care how much nic is in it. It doesn't matter. No vaping whatsoever for any reason. You got to go outside to the pavilion. End of story. And they're going to find people.
They're gonna find people. They're gonna find people.
They've been walking around, checking every booth.
Each individual will be fined.
Do we know how much the fine is?
I don't know.
I don't believe so. Somebody said earlier it was $250.
That's what I've heard, $250 too, yeah. So Dimitri, if I get fined today, I'm gonna be sending you the bill. I'll send it via PayPal or something like that. Don't worry, you're loaded. You got all that Greek money, man. It won't hurt you at all. Don't worry about it. But so the drama continues here at Vape Fest, New Jersey. What is this? Vape Expo. I get them all confused. I don't know anymore. Okay. So I'm here with
Jerry Titus.
Hi, Jerry. How are you? We met at the which event did
Pittsburgh.
we meet? Pittsburgh event, right?
Yes, sir.
I know. I remember the face. I just am bad with names. And what happened to you?
The senator met us at the first vape booth we were at.
Okay.
And he told the other people next to us, no vaping inside. We could not sample the juice. Zero, that we had to come outside.
Okay.
And that's going to kill this convention if you can't even try the juice.
Yeah.
You want to buy it sight unseen and not know what you're getting until you get home.
Did you see anybody get a ticket yet? I heard they're actually writing tickets.
Not yet. We've only been here like 15 minutes, and we came out here to vape. And I was telling my wife, we might as well just go home. This is going to be a dead convention.
Well, I mean, it looks like there's people coming in now, and I guess we'll just follow this and keep covering the event and the best we could, right?
Right.
But I'm sorry for you guys driving all the way out here and try to make the best of it, right?
But there's a lot of people that come a lot farther than us. We've heard people coming down from Washington State. Vendors, I mean, they got a lot of money invested in here, and they're not going to be able to move any product.
All right. Well,
I feel for them.
I do too. So let's hope for the best today, and let's just carry on and do what we can for advocacy, right?
Yes,
because
sir.
this is the important stuff. Is you see it trying to be shut down right now, and it's pretty bad. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
And you heard me say something there, get shut down, because I'll be honest with you guys, all day Saturday, and I even said this to some people, that was my biggest concern. That was my biggest fear, that that's what was going to happen, that's what they had planned, that they were going to let this event fill up, okay, and then come in and shut it down with news media and news crews, and I'm not sure how many people attended the event, but let's say there were 1,000 people in there at that time. Then you have 1,000 angry vapors, and then you have 1,000, or not 1,000, but however many vendors were in there, and they were going to be angry, and they were going to be angry out loud, and film and media was going to be there to cover it. That was my biggest fear all day long. Thank God that did not happen, because that would have made things even worse.
What's your name first?
My name is Al Delasta.
Where are you from, brother?
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, cool.
Up here representing Keystone Vapors.
And, he threw the plug in there. Everybody hear him throw the plug in? I'm getting attacked by a bee. It's my yellow camera.
Yeah, absolutely. But up there checking out some juices, and it was like Zero Nick, and he's just waltzes on up, and he goes, this is your warning. Next time there'll be a fine, one-time warning. There's no vaping at all in this Vaping Expo here. So I have my, looking over my shoulder every time they ask me if they want, if I want to try their juice, or if I want to taste their juice. So, yeah, but unfortunately that's how it is in Jersey right now.
Well, try to have a good day.
Absolutely, thanks.
Okay, you got it.
So officially there was no permit ever applied for. They would actually need a variance, as we just discussed. And so there was never going to be any, you couldn't not be. So they lied.
Who lied? The vendors? The promoters lied?
Yes, that's the health official. He runs the county for Edison, and he told me you need a variance. They never applied for it.
Okay, thank you. Can you tell me what just happened?
Yeah, they're saying that they can't vape in the building during a vape convention.
Okay.
So, it's kind of pointless.
Now, I did follow the health inspectors around, because I tried to capture them actually writing one of the fines to either just somebody attending the event or one of the vendors. I didn't capture that, but eventually I did meet somebody who did receive a fine. And from what I understand on NJ.com, there were over $50,000 in fines issued at the event.
All right, so we have the first official fine.
Yep.
Okay, do you have the paperwork?
No, he didn't. He wrote my name down and said Naked Fish. I said, how are you going to give us a fine in a private club? And he goes, take it up with the judge. That's what he says. I said, what fucking judge?
And what was the fine for?
Vaping.
Okay.
Vaping in a private venue, in a private event.
Now weren't you told at the beginning of the venue, the beginning of the event with all the meeting at the front, that you could test Zero Nick?
Yes.
Okay. And so that's what you're doing?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know how much the fine is?
$450.
$450. Okay.
We're all coming here to try these vendors' juices, to meet new people, to make business connections, and now everything's getting shut down. We paid here as a consumer to come to these vendors and try their liquids. We can't do that. What are we here for? We travel from other states to get here to do this, and if we can't do any of that, we're here for no reason.
Who do you blame? Do you blame the event coordinators or do you blame the senator? And who do you think is primarily responsible?
I think blame falls on both. If they knew that there were certain things in place that we weren't supposed to do, and they didn't tell us about it, and now we're in this position because of that, blame falls on them.
So as you can imagine, there were a fair number of upset people who attended the event, and even more so, and more understandably, some very, very upset vendors who weren't allowed to have people sample their products. As a matter of fact, a couple of vendors showed me these little tasters, they were for perfume, that they were given to have people try their liquids. And how do you try on what? I guess they were supposed to smell the liquids. I guess that was going to be good enough. So there were a couple shouting matches. Luckily, nothing got too out of hand. But as you can imagine, there were a lot of upset people, and rightfully so. Now, according to the promoters, there were agreements in place with the health department. So why was the health department there issuing fines? I don't know. We're going to hear more from the promoters a little bit later on. According to the promoters, they did what they were supposed to do after meeting with the health inspector on Friday, when the health inspectors got called in the first time, including the cafeteria section, the signs, and the outdoor vaping pavilion. Let's take a look at that.
All right, so this is the outdoor vape pavilion. JT, we're gonna go see the outdoor vape pavilion now?
Right this way, sir.
Okay, here's the outdoor vape pavilion. And
smell.
This is it. This is the outdoor vape pavilion, right next to the garbage.
Smells
and
wonderful.
do we know why they have the tables set up out here, JT? Are you?
I don't know. I don't know if
Is that where you and I are supposed to sign autographs?
I
perhaps?
think so.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, right to the left of the kitchen trash.
Look at this.
Yesterday.
And by the way, Saturday, it was hot out there. Sunday, even worse, okay? And the smell from the garbage didn't really help things. Now, to be fair, supposedly those tables were set up so that if companies did want to have people try their liquids without getting fined, they could set up out there. I think the only company that took advantage of that was Halo, who had like a beautiful area in the middle of the vape event. They just had everything, and I didn't even get a photo of it, but they had everything on that little table and in the heat, having people try the liquid so that they wouldn't get fined. Okay. Now the senator, okay, I was trying to find out who he was. I wanted to at least get a photo of him, all right? And I was outside in the outdoor vaping pavilion, and somebody said, I think that's the senator over there. And he was out there talking to his aide. Now, there were some rumors going around that I told off the senator. No, I didn't tell off the senator. But I did go up to the first time in my life for doing something like this. I went right up to him and I said, hello, Mr. Senator. I said, my name is PBusardo. I said, can I talk to you for a minute? And he was absolutely perfectly receptive to me. And we did. We talked for about 15, 20 minutes. I talked to him and to his aide. They were extremely receptive to what I was saying. I could tell that they were very uneducated as far as like what vaping was and what we were doing in there. I tried to present our side of the story. I listened to his side of the story, but my primary goal was to figure out who dropped the ball. Okay, who dropped the ball on this? And he said, although it's a private event, although it's a private venue, although it's a membership only, none of that works, okay? None of that works, and that the promoters were warned over and over and over again that they couldn't do something like this, and they chose to ignore the warnings. And I think one of his comments to me was, if you could do something like that, and I kind of agree with this because we actually tried it here in New York when I was involved with the nightclubs. If you could do something like that, then probably every bar and nightclub would be a membership-only private kind of venue, and to get around the smoking, or in this case, the Clean Air Act. Okay, so that is what that's what the senator and I talked about. That is what he told me. That's what I'm telling you. Now let's get the promoter side of the story, because I made sure Sunday morning I went in there early to interview them about what was taking place. So here we are at Vape Expo, New Jersey, and probably one of the more interesting events that I've been with. So I'm here with the event organizers, and why don't you guys let everybody know who you are, what's your background in vaping, and that you guys basically ran the show, right? It's your show. So who are you guys?
Sure. My name is Andy. I'm from New Jersey, born and raised. Been here my whole life. I'm 41 years old. My background is, I'm a businessman. I own a machine shop, family-owned business in Somerset, New Jersey. We have 100 employees, in real estate, multiple different businesses. I also own an intellectual property and patent company. Why I got into vaping is I played baseball when I was younger. I chewed, I dipped for over 25 years. My mom, a few years ago, came down with stage 4 breast cancer. So she had a dual mastectomy, and she smoked her whole life. So, she almost died. God made a way. She's healed. And friends, family, and doctors told her, Pauline, you need to start vaping or do something else, because you're gonna die. So I never thought happened, my mother was vaping. So when she talked to me one day and says, she says to me, Andy, I don't want that to happen to you. Stop. So, Don approached me and said, out of the blue, Andy, I know you've got a lot of background working with attorneys, working with the FDA because of your experience with nicotine. What do you think, and I've been vaping for years, I do. What do you think if we try to get something done in New Jersey, since we're from New Jersey? That being said, we talked, we joked about it, we went out to dinner, and I said, you know what, let me look into this. 3 months later, I know the owner here, okay? Family.
The owner of the venue.
The owner of this building, the owner of this property. This area is it's owned by a private family of investors, real estate investors. So my dad, over the years, who came to this country from Hungary, poor, worked hard as a machinist and built up, he made a lot of friends over the years. And the owner that's here was also Hungarian. So somehow, some way, they became friends, and we've always been in touch with them. So I had that in the back of my mind. I said, you know what, Donald? Let's see what we can do. If it's meant to be, if it's God's will, maybe this could happen. So we did, long story short, we did some research into it, and we came out and met with the owner. And he said, Andy, listen, I will talk to my attorneys as well. You talk to your attorneys. I'm totally for vaping, pro vaping, okay? I know a lot of people that died of lung cancer. I'm sure I said, yes, so do I. So you know what, let me talk to my attorney, you talk to your attorneys. About a week or two go by. Of course, the Smoke-Free Act comes up.
Well, let's go back to that. Let's get everybody else who's
Sure, I want, okay, you're right. I'm gonna let them introduce. So anyway, eventually.
You like to talk, don't you?
I'm sorry. I'm just so
I know,
He's passionate about it. He's really
and so
passionate
upset about what happened.
Sure.
We were, and we'll get to this later,
You can understand.
blindsided. I mean, this was a plot. But that's okay, because this is going to turn out to be a blessing. This will backfire for the senator, and for the state of New Jersey. I promise you that, okay? But in the meantime, we have to do what we have to do to get through this show.
Right.
And try to show people, it's
Most
not that we
definitely.
neglected the show. This was not something that we didn't plan it properly. They planned to ruin exactly what was going on in the last couple of days. But you know what? By God's grace, we made it through. We made it through so far, and we will continue.
We will continue.
So instead of having division in the state of New Jersey, we need to come together and realize if we become one and fight this, after this is over, they're gonna go back and say, you know what? All we did was get a couple fines, which our company is going to pay for.
It's all right. So if anybody got a ticket or warning or summons, please bring it to Vape Expo. We're gonna pay for it, whatever it is.
Now, we weren't expecting this. If we thought this wasn't going to happen, if our attorneys and officials, government officials, believe me, we did our research. If they would have said, no, you're going to get shut down, you're going to have a problem, we never, ever would have done this.
Not at all.
We're businessmen. It's not our first rodeo. We're in our 40s.
Shoot yourself in the foot. You
We're in our
can't do
40s.
that.
We understand the parameters. We had guarantees and we have written documents.
Okay,
which
we're
again,
going to get to that.
No problem.
Introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Don, co-owner of Vape Expo, New Jersey. How I got involved in vaping is very simple.
Look at me, there you go.
Very simply, I was a 3-pack-a-day smoker. Okay? Got frustrated of just waking up in the middle of the night, grabbing a smoke. One night I did that, last cigarette in the pack. Early in the morning, had to rush out, go grab a pack of cigarettes. Said, you know what? I had it with this stuff. Went out, bought my first vape, never picked up a cigarette after that. Felt so much better, got my friends involved, became passionate about it. Every hobby I do becomes an obsession.
Right.
But this hits home for me so hardly that my mom died of cancer. My sister passed away, she had cancer. So this is something good to help the masses. And everywhere I was to go with my vape, people ask me, well, what is that? What is that? What are you doing there?
Right.
I'm thinking, wow, people really need to be aware of what this is, and this can save so many lives and help people that want to quit, that can't, because that was me. I couldn't stop. I tried 30, 40 times to stop cigarette smoking.
Right.
Couldn't do it. This did it.
Okay.
First shot, no problem. So believe me, if it helped me, it can help anybody. I was a chain smoker.
Why did you guys decide to do a vape event in, you know, a potential hostile area for vaping, right?
Well, we didn't really know it was a hostile area for vaping. What we knew is there was a Clean Air Act. Smoke-free Clean Air Act, and we did research on it. We found out what was the reason for the Clean Air Act.
And can I jump on this really quick? I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
We knew that there had to be a way for us to get it done. I believe that anything can be done, okay? Especially if you're in the right. And we do have rights. And if other states can do it, so can we, okay? So, and we'll get back to this again, I'll let them finish, but through speaking to attorneys who are experts in the letter of the law, okay? Just to give you a heads up, there's nothing in the law that says expo centers, okay, are included in that, okay? It does say public and private where there will be employees. So in our membership, in our documentation and what's legally was carried over to the health department, to the local officials, to the building owner, was that this was only going to be open for people who either vape, want to learn about vaping, or that are looking to quit smoking and go into vaping. Every employee here, from off-duty police officers to the chef in the back cooking, was either a smoker or a vapor, okay? And they volunteered for that. It took us 3 months to make sure that nobody was put in a position where, well, you're not allowed to get this job because it's for vapors only.
Whoever's here, employee or not, is here by choice, not by force.
Right.
So it's like saying this, okay? If we all sit down and allow this, and I'm telling you honestly, if we all allow this and not stick together and take this as fuel for the fire, it's like, Phil, you coming to my house, and you and I, you know, vaping together, and now the health official comes in and says, you guys can't vape, here's a ticket. This is my private property. I own this house, okay? But, yet again, look at some of the loopholes in the law. Atlantic City is in the state of New Jersey. But how is that? How is a judge really, once this comes up before him, which it will, how is a judge going to allow a person who's in a casino who cannot stand smoke or vape sit next to somebody at a table who's smoking and vaping? That's okay. Why? Because they pay extra money? That doesn't mean it's ethical. And we're going to fight why that's not ethical.
Can I taste your juice?